health thing to it, if you get what I mean.
Right.
But there's also a big part about how mental health has been so overspoken about lately that it's almost cool to be mentally ill, and it gets over. There's a lot of people that haven't got mental problems that claim to have depression and anxiety and things like that because it's almost become fashionable. And it's sort of partly to do with mental health and partly to do with how it's been over pushed into media and has made people. It's become a fashion item a little bit.
I was about to say, it makes everyone a WebMD hypochondriac, right? Like everyone's like self-assessment says that I have this mental illness and that and whatever. Like you said, yeah, it's all about a self-diagnosis when. Like depression and things like that is obviously a very serious topic, but just because you're sad a couple days doesn't make you clinically depressed.
I agree. And the other thing is when the way mental health awareness is very much a thing that is needed, that if you make everybody starts thinking, oh, I'm mentally ill, then the people who are really mentally ill will look around at everyone else on Facebook and stuff and think, oh, everybody else has got all these problems I've got. I must be fine, as they're stabbing their family to death.
Right.
It makes over-awareness creates a problem in both ways. It's just... Anyway, or you can either think that or you can just dance to the song. Your choice.
Yeah,
sure.
It's kind of like having a mental health issue and then being surrounded by people who are saying that they're the same. When you have a mental health issue, you want to be around people who you can relate to, but that is the one thing that you don't want to kind of be surrounded by, other people saying that they've got these issues that actually they probably don't know anything about.
I was about to say, it seems like just further infuriating, honestly. Like if you actually have, OCD, for example, I have a friend who is like flick the light switches 14 times before he leaves the room OCD, like real OCD. And then someone's like, I have to make sure my papers are folded where the edges meet perfectly. They're like, I'm OCD. And it's like, no, you're not. You're just organized, and you're an organized person. Like, that doesn't make you OCD. Like, it just makes you, a perfectionist. And, yeah, so I totally get that side of things, too. So I want to talk about so this is the first time we had Great White, but we only had Eric from Great White, so we didn't have more points of view. Who does what in the band? What is as far as dividing responsibilities?
Oh.
I mean, Lee has got a notebook that he'll bring to all the practices, and they've got lyrics in. And so I suppose that's definitely generally just Lee.
Except the songs that don't have lyrics yet. But I just make. We have one song that doesn't have lyrics, but every time we do a gig, I just make them up as I go along. So,
nice.
That's quite fun.
And then Lee's got like loads of riffs that just like up his sleeve. But I don't feel like that means that Lee has to come to the practices and everything starts from his idea. Because I think that's probably not a very nice pressure on you, is it?
No. Well, sometimes we'll come in, Imogen will go, listen to this bass line, and it'll become a whole song.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like, listen to this drum beat. We tend to write songs quickly. We'll either try all day and come up with nothing, or we'll write a song in 5 minutes and it just becomes good. I think the best songs come out in 5 minutes, than trying 2 weeks to make a song good. If it's not good at the start, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Really. So we've gone off on a tangent. That's not even what you asked, is it?
No, that is, yeah. Just like, and that, I'm the same way, and Caleb, I don't know if you're the same way, as far as writing, but, I mean, you can tell within the first 5 minutes of writing something if it's going to be good or not.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and and Caleb actually, you guys don't know who we are either. Caleb, actually just published a book of poetry, all his stuff, which is phenomenal. I've read through it a couple of times, so he knows exactly what you're talking about as well. Like if it's if you're not feeling where it's going in the first 5 minutes, then wrap it up and move on, because it's
definitely a mixture of like being divinely inspired, not divinely, but whatever, creatively inspired by something and it just like flowing out, or I'm actually trying to make this happen and it pretty much never does. It's like the harder you try at that point, the more it gets messed up.
Yeah.
I imagine it's the same with poetry, right? So that's like if you start. Well, I don't know though. I've never written poetry, so I don't know.
Have, but in a different form.
Yeah. See, now I know a poet's here. My lyrics don't seem too good anymore.
I thought they were quite good.
No. Yeah,
Don't steal my line.
Also, I've tried my hand at songwriting a little bit, and it's way different. I'm not very catchy, so I definitely respect that.
Yeah, the hook is, the songwriter's perfect poem. And this song, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say before we move on too far, because I wanted to interact. So someone from the HOOLi page, I guess that's your other bandmate, maybe. Asked if we can ask you what your favorite member of One Direction is.
Yeah, tell me more.
Well, I don't know. Are you saying which one would I aim for with my car if they were all running down? Any of them will do. They're all just as hard to clean off the windscreen, so I don't know.
You could literally make up a name right now, and I wouldn't know.
Is there a Travis?
His solo stuff is alright.
Oh, he's got a name that makes no sense when you look at it and then say it.
Horan.
Yeah, but
Who is it?
There's a lot of G's and H's in it for some reason.
Niall.
Yeah.
I think that's the first one I know the name of. So yeah, I'll take him.
John. I'm just going to say John.
John. Yeah, I'll take John. I mean, you have a pretty good shot as far as names go. Like a pretty high percentage. If you're going to pick a random name, you might as well go with John. But talking about real quick, your comment earlier was a little bit self-deprecating about your writing, but I wanted to bring a point. You have one of my favorite lyrics in a song that I've seen in recent history, and I put it in the blog post. I said, "The noose brings infinite youth. The more you tighten its hold, the truth will unfold for you." Dude,
that was a great
don't talk about I'm not a poet, blah, blah, blah.
That brings in the wannabe suicidal people
right
into, the people, I'm going to kill myself and all this. No, you're not. So stop saying it,
Well, yeah, like suicide is a very, obviously a serious thing, but it is, you do hate whenever people threaten it all the time because it takes away the seriousness of it for people that are actually suicidal. Yeah, and it is, you have to handle them all with the same amount of, caring candor, because you don't know, but like you said, there's so many people out there who are just wanting that attention because they know that that's what gets that attention.
Yeah, I feel like if someone's really going to actually is suicidal, it tends to be more of a silent thing, doesn't it? They don't go around all over Facebook and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a bit of a nod to that. And also it rhymes and sounds good. So
it rhymes and sounds good, and that's important.
Yeah. You've got to get both. It's got to sound good to everyone, because
and be acceptable.
Yeah, and be acceptable.
Right.
There have been some lyrics in the past that I thought, you can't put that in a song, Lee. Come on, So, but like this is acceptable. It sounds good. It is good, but it also means I don't like songs where the lyrics are really clever, but they sound crap.
Right.
Like you want something that you can listen to, because I like listening to lyrics, but you don't always want to listen to a song so in depth that you're like, oh man, I'm so in the song and all that stuff. Like sometimes you just want to listen to a song and enjoy it, don't you? So it's just got to do both.
Right.
Now, real quick, we're going to transition out of the Know the Art and get into some weird questions for you guys. But real quick, why is the I lowercase? Or I guess why is the O, the OOL? Why is that capitalized?
I don't know know why that happened.
I wish I had as deep a meaning as the song. because something like, I don't know. I don't know.
It was like a really lucky coincidence that it had all of our initials in it. It had H, L, and I. And then the I got taken to lowercase, and I felt degraded. You know.
Maybe it's say I am no bigger than you. I don't know.
You guys had me googling googling UK slang to see if HOOL was something. You know, I was like, what does it mean? You know, I'm sitting here trying to do the Da Vinci Code with the name.
We would say, if it's windy here, I don't know if you say this, but we would say, oh, it's blowing a HOOLi.
Oh, okay.
No, never heard that.
Nice.
It must be cool.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like, change the EY to an I. Whoa, so indie. And then
okay, so let's first off, where's the future going? Like, what's the next thing? What's the next step?
We want to just do loads and loads of gigs. We also are getting more into doing some bluesy stuff as well. Like, we always play some Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff at gigs, and just gigs, loud, big gigs. That's all we want.
Awesome.
We're not necessarily looking for like a record deal or anything like that. We just want to have fun, enjoy it.
Yeah, I think if it's got creative control, then yeah, if it's going to get us better gigs, then great. But
it's all about the gig.
All about the gig.
All right, so
before you move on to the next section,
the
guy that we just interviewed last week or earlier this week, Sam Damask, said
Sam.
He wanted to tell you that it's okay to say it's just because it looks cool. He's for that.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so let's get into the next part. So we had know the art. Now we want to know the artist. We want to get to know you guys in probably the weirdest icebreaker questions you will answer. So, Caleb, do you want to start this part off?
Yeah, all right. So, first one. Jurassic Park is real. Do you go? And if you do go, what is your favorite dinosaur? Or you can just say what your favorite dinosaur is, whether you're going to go or not. But do you go to a real Jurassic Park?
What's the one called that flies?
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I said Velociraptor because I watched Step Brothers last night, and that's both of their favourite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Velociraptor. Yeah. So would you guys go, or do you think that it's just a recipe for disaster?
I'd go, I think.
It's a recipe for disaster, but I'd get some great.
That's true.
Yeah, it'd be a cool way to die, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the chances it malfunctions on the day you're there? It's probably like the next week or something, you know, like.
I mean, it's like people that are afraid of flying. I'm like, look, what are the chances that your plane's going to go down? And there are millions of people who experience a flawless flight for every one that dies in a plane crash. And same with Jurassic Park. What are the chances? God, that got dark super quick. Anyway.
I'll just take a gun. Can we take a gun? Are guns allowed at Jurassic Park?
I think probably only for personnel, but
I mean, I think you could overpower a guard as soon as you got there, and then hide him. Go Splinter Cell on him and hide him in a trash can, and then you're all set. All right, next question.
Yeah, I get it.
You have to pick one of these things. You have to wear a mask forever, and you can decide what kind of mask. Mine is Majora's Mask, or wear socks forever. You always shower everything.
Ooh, wet socks. The same pair forever?
I would say so. Maybe you can change the mask and the socks once per week.
Socks.
Yeah, I'd go for socks. But how small can the mask be? Do large sunglasses count as a mask?
Like you could go with like the Bandito look, where it's the or Lone Ranger, where it's just the eye.
Zorro.
Zorro.
I might consider a mask if it was really freaky, but I think socks is the only way to go. Yeah. Socks.
You just do a mask
I don't know.
Of your own face.
Yeah,
and I guess this is I'm reflecting who I am as a person, because socks are basically the worst thing on this planet to me. I would go barefoot everywhere if I could. Yeah.
I imagine wet socks would be really terrible. Like a lot of athletes, but if you were wearing socks all week.
Ooh. Yeah. But I would go mask just because it would become part of who I am. I'd be known as the dude that wears a weird mask all the time.
The mask would also get wet and sweaty.
Yeah.
But you get face, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I really got athlete's face under here. I think. Well, but you could do like a plastic mask versus cloth socks, so it would dry.
All right.
But, oh well.
Let's get to the next one. So there's a lot of modern sci-fi tropes that focus on this idea. But if you were a robot, would you want to know?
Oh, that's a very good question. Imogen?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have this series. I think it plays in America as well for humans, and I feel like I'd be one of
the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be one of the kind of robotic synths that like stands for synth rights and stuff. I feel like I'd want to know.
See, now you've got me wondering if there's a possibility robots can not know they're robots. How do?
Yeah, I mean, how do you know that you're not?
Robots?
Yeah, you don't know that you're not.
Well, then I'd rather not know. It's nice not knowing.
Yeah.
Did you say?
No,
you want to know.
Well, I mean, technically we all walk around with a sense that we have like free will and consciousness, but there's no scientific evidence that says that's true. So I mean, I imagine it wouldn't be that different.
Right. Yeah. Free will is a untestable theory, I suppose. I mean, because you'd say that there's a rebuttal for everything. It's like, well, I chose to do this. Well, did you? I don't know if so. It is interesting. I don't think I'd want to. No, I don't think so. I think I'd rather just live it out, thinking that I'm the same.
I don't think anyone could handle finding out that they were. It would send you
into
bonkers.
A spiral. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you murderous rampages all round. That's what would happen.
then you're stab just to bring it full circle, stabbing your family while everyone's saying that they're a robot too, and they're not.
Yeah. Handle this. I apologise for that joke.
No. Real quick, do you guys do you watch Seinfeld?
No. It's not
okay,
really
I was like, I don't know if it's syndicated out there or not. But okay, what sitcoms do you watch? Do you watch like The Office, Parks and Rec, anything like that?
So, as sad as it is, because it's on daytime a lot here, I do watch Frasier sometimes.
Frasier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
it. It's quite good. What else?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm an animated guy, really.
Okay. Well,
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love that.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that at the moment.
Okay, so you both answer independently. You for Frasier, Lee, and then of course Imogen, you for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You have to make a bandmate a character on that show. Who do you guys see your bandmates relating to from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and from Frasier?
Oh, right. So we have to put a band member to each character.
Yeah.
Just put a character to each band member.
100% Frasier. I don't know why, but and then Hannah would be. I don't know. Hannah would be the other brother, I think.
Niles.
No, yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then I'd be the dog, I think.
The dog?
Oh man, nice. I like it. So now Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Who are we?
I feel like Lee is a bit like Jake, just because he's good at totally random things, and they're somehow clever.
They just sound clever. They're not.
No, they are. Hannah. I don't know. Maybe Amy, because I feel like Hannah's quite badass when she wants to be.
Yeah.
She's also in control of all our admin. So yeah, Amy.
All right. So now who are you? Self-assessment.
That's the hardest one of all.
Yeah, exactly.
I did some BuzzFeed quizzes, and I got Jake, but I don't know.
You sure you're not Terry Crews' character?
Yeah.
You are when you're playing the bass, maybe.
Lee, does she eat an insane amount of yogurt? Does she just consume yogurt?
What? We've been a pretty much yogurt-free band as far as I can remember. I
and we make a strong stance on that.
Yeah, we need to start bringing yogurt into it. Throwing out. We were going to throw out at one time 3 yo-yos with our band sticker on them, but now it's going to be yogurt or yogurt, as you call it. Sorry.
Yogurt.
But we were going to throw out yo-yos, but maybe we should throw out like yogurt with a yo-yo on it. People can be yo-yoing and yogurt would be a right fucking mess.
And it has Terry Crews' body with Imogen's head on top. Like, and just, that's...
All right. So now we're going into marketing. How are you guys doing on time? Do you have another, 10 minutes?
Yeah. But, what's the time?
It's
45.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's jump right into the section then.
Yeah. So we have one more section. So we've done know the art, know the artist. Now we're doing know nothing, and we're gonna give you guys a little quiz. Hopefully it's not too hard, but it's kind of hard. But there are 2 of you, so maybe between the 2 of you, you can come up with the right answers. All right. So it's 5 questions. The best we've ever gotten is 4 out of 5. We had an artist get 4 out of 5 one time. But yeah, so you guys can both answer either or answer. But whatever I hear first is the answer. So, kind of come together before you answer for real. Anyway, so question 1, and I'm hoping that this is a gimme, but it might not be now that you've explained the name before. Anyway, in the satirical comedy Silicon Valley, what tech company does fictional character Gavin Belson lead?
I mean, it's got to be, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, just answer it.
Really?
HOOLi, yes. Yes. So I mean, when I first read the name, I thought that maybe it was some sort of reference to that, and then you guys explained the name, and I was like, oh, maybe that's not a gimme then. But good job.
So.
Yeah, you can already buy the merch.
Yeah, you can already buy the merch.
Okay, number 2. Speaking of time and how little of it we have, which we were talking about a little bit ago, what % of time have humans existed on Earth in respect to how long life has existed on Earth? So looking at the big picture of, man, my hands don't fit very well in the little screen. How long life has existed, and then how long humans have existed. And this one's multiple choice. I'm not going to just give you. You don't have to just give me the percentage. Okay. Yeah, that would have been insane. All right. So here's your 4 options: A, 0.0001%, B, 10%, C, 0.2%, or D, 20%. So that's how long humans have been on Earth in respect to all of life.
I would say that. Would you agree with that? Because we are guessing, aren't we?
Oh God, yeah.
Should we go with 0.3? I was going to say it. 0.2.
That's right. Yeah, 0.2%.
That's right.
Yeah, so that was based on assuming humans have been around 7,000 years or so, if you're counting, hunter-gatherers and all that, and that life itself started 3.5 billion years ago. Then humans have only been around for 0.2% of the time. Cool. So you guys are 2 for 2. That's solid. All right, number 3. The Day of the Dead is a Mexican holiday celebrated throughout Mexico, in particular the central and south regions, and by people of Mexican ancestry living in other places, especially in the United States. And it's basically a celebration of people in their family line that have died. What does it translate to in Spanish? Day of the Dead, what does it translate to in Spanish?
There's no point in asking me. We got to get this, every single part of this.
If you get it pretty close, I'll give it to you.
If you get close, then we're good.
Just give Imogen some thinking time.
Just got to think about what that caption says at the start of James Bond, because there's a James Bond event.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. It's like a very big festival, but it's definitely one that I think more Americans would know than British people. But the next question is definitely more for you guys than Americans, so it works out.
All right.
Well, I'm pretty sure this isn't right for the whole thing, but it's like Dias de los Muertos or something.
Close enough.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah. It's Dia de Muertos. I mean, you pretty much got it. Dia de Muertos. So,
yeah. Dia de Muertos.
All right. Cool. Man, they might.
3 for 3.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. This one I think would be difficult unless you're in high school over here at the moment. But maybe because he's kind of a big deal in England, you guys will have a leg up. So in the Geoffrey Chaucer story, Canterbury Tales, there are many short tales. In one, by the Pardoner, as an allegory for greed, 3 men meet death, who directs them to a sack of money under a tree. How do they die?
This is where we die.
I would say, do you recall Canterbury Tales and like having to read it in school or anything? I don't know what your education system was like.
I don't think we have to do it until we get to university here.
I left school when I was like 13 or 14, so that is well out of my zone.
All right, well let me explain the background one more time, and you guys can just guess because it's almost there. So it's an allegory for greed, and 3 men meet death, who directs them to a sack of money under a tree. How do the 3 men die?
All 3 die.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All 3. It's something to do with greed. It's become a riddle now.
Yeah.
If it was a riddle, it'd be like, do you know? I want to say something like they all killed each other.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it.
Yeah, so that's
They kill each other fighting over the money.
yeah, that's why it's an allegory for greed, because their whole thing was they were supposed to be on this mission and they get distracted by the money and then end up killing each other, even though they were friends. All right, wow. So you're already
You guys are 4 for 4.
I say you're already tied for the best.
So you have
score.
the leader.
All right, so this is
And
what it comes down to. Yep. All right, and I don't know if do you guys get Cartoon Network over there?
yeah.
Okay. What cartoon, which ran from 2003 to 2008 on Cartoon Network, followed 2 children named Billy, a slow-witted, happy-go-lucky boy, and Mandy, his dark and cynical best friend, who, after winning a limbo game to save Billy's pet hamster, gained the mighty Grim Reaper as their best friend in eternal servitude and slavery?
Oh, I have no idea.
Doesn't sound familiar at all? You don't think you saw commercials for it or anything?
No, I don't know. I'm assuming we have the same shows on Cartoon Network here.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it would have been 10 years ago now, or 10 to 15 years ago.
There's a hamster.
Oh, is it? I have like a toy.
So it's 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and the Grim Reaper.
Is it? Would you say it's of Japanese origin?
I don't recall.
No.
It's not anime style. It wasn't like anime style.
Is that what you were getting at then?
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do it.
I'm not gonna.
I'm just going to get. We're just going to make up a cartoon name because I guessed the last one.
All right.
Oh boy, the Reaper's a keeper or something. I don't know.
I do like that name.
That's it.
So it is the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Which it was popular for like 5 years or so. If you couldn't tell, I tried to, other than the first one, I tried to base them all on death, since somewhat we were talking about like suicide and death earlier. But yeah, so 4 out of 5 though. You guys tied with one other person for the best score ever. So congrats. We'll put you on the leaderboard. And yeah, that's awesome.
Joint first or second, as they call it.
Tied for first is tied for first.
No.
Seth is breaking up really bad. I think he's trying to talk to you, but
He's frozen.
yeah. But yeah, so I guess I'll end it just because I don't know if Seth is going to come back completely. But thanks so much.
Maybe just really still.
Yeah, he could just be being very still. Before we head out, was there anything that you guys wanted to plug or say that we didn't ask you about?
No, just everyone give the song a listen.
Yeah.
And if you like it, just share it. You don't have to buy it. Just listen and share.
Share and follow. I think.
Listen, share, follow, and have a good time.
Awesome. And we'll link that in the comments to this. We'll link it on the eventual YouTube video that this becomes as well. But yeah, share and follow. And I say go spend money on it, but you know they're not going to say that to your face. But that's what I want for our audience to go spend money on it. But yeah, thanks so much for being with us. That was a lot of fun, and we'll definitely talk to you again soon because I think we had talked a little bit about maybe having the song on the podcast at some point. Yeah. Maybe.
Cool.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, but yeah.
Existential.
More music soon as well. More music in the coming months. So
more music in the coming months. Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frozen Man.
Yeah. I'll get Seth to message you guys. Yeah.
Tell him I said bye. We said bye.
I'll tell him. All right, guys. Bye.
Yeah.